All right, guys, I hope you shook it out a little bit, kind of get walking around, get the blood moving a little bit. We're going to go ahead and start with part 2 of the Getting Started manual. And let's get started with the True Wealth, section 3, okay? In order to build your business, you're going to have a specific set of skills. There's not a whole bunch of skills that you got to learn, but there are some skills, all right? As a matter of fact, there's 7 skills that you want to master as you build your USANA business, okay? First, you want to start getting your contact list, okay? Keeping an active candidate list is so important as you build your business. A lot of people think that the success of their business depends on the people that you know right now. To be honest, I didn't know a whole lot of people in the area that I was living whenever I first started my USANA business. I grew a list of people as I kind of just met people, and most people will say that I don't know people, right? But then you look around, people run into people every day. You talk to people most every day that you don't know. So, just building a contact list is a skill that you'll learn over time, right? So at first, what we want to do is we want to write down a list of names of everybody that you know. Everybody. It doesn't matter if they said that they're completely happy with their job, or they love their job, or they just got a new job, or they don't believe in supplements, they don't believe that they need to lose any weight. People that maybe they've even said, I would never ever want to start a business, specifically network marketing. I hate it. Even that person, write that name down. All right. And the reason is because things change for everybody. And also, as you write people's names down, the act of just writing them down will open your mind to maybe other people that you know from that person. Okay. So just writing names down actually helps you to go further and further into your list. You'll be surprised at how many people that you really, really know. All right. Also, I want to give you guys a little tool that I spoke of previously in the previous video. Let me show you in the part 1 of Getting Started. But if you'll go online to networkmarketingpro.com/unlimited/memory jogger.pdf. This is the ultimate memory jogger. And if you look through, it's free. And if you look through here, it gives you a whole bunch of great content. And it also helps you. This is where it starts. Members of your own family, lists you already have. Those you do business with, who are and it gives a list of occupations. Closest friends and those whom you associate with regularly. Just tons and tons of stuff that will help you to remember people in your network, right? That you may not have thought of, right? So anyway, you can go there to networkmarketingpro.com/unlimited/memoryjogger.pdf. All right, so growing that contact list is huge in your business. And I said it before, the bigger the list, the bigger the paycheck, right? Because the more people you know, the more people you can expose USANA's products and business to, and the more options, or the more growth that you'll see in your business, right? And don't forget to ask for referrals, because it might not be for them, but it may be for somebody they know. And then always just commit every day. I'm going to add so many people to my list. And that just goes back to your goals that we discussed in the page before this one, right? Second skill is to invite. To invite someone is to invite them actually to take a look at USANA, either the products or the business, all right? Who to look for. Review your contact list. Discover their needs. There's just different. This is so important. The inviting process is so important. This is like the key skill, the gateway skill to building your business. This isn't the first skill you learn. Building a contact list is the first, but this is the most important skill, because if you don't know the proper way to invite, then you're never going to get anybody to take a look. So you got to learn these skills. And if you can, as much as possible, get with your upline and then do some active role play. If you practice this invite, you want to get it wrong with your sponsor, right? So do it as many times, fail as many times with your sponsor so that when you get out there and you actually invite, you feel comfortable when you're talking. It doesn't seem rehearsed. And you feel confident. You feel, like you got posture. And you'll have a much better time inviting people, right? There's a lot of different types of people out there. 4 specific that we touch on here as far as their attitudes. You have a promoter, you have helper, you have an analyzer and a driver. Promoter is somebody that's motivated by really like having a lot of fun. They're really social. They're the life of the party. They like to stand out. Those people, they're just super, super fun to be around. Those are promoters. Helpers, they're motivated by helping people. It often puts others' needs ahead of theirs. They're probably into charitable, volunteer work, stuff like that, right? An analyzer, somebody that's motivated by being accurate, very meticulous. They love facts and figures. They're very, very structured, right? And then you have the driver. The driver is kind of, they're just, money is a motivator, right? They're very, very competitive. Just A-type personality, usually like to take control of the situation. So as you talk to the people that you're going to invite, if you identify before you talk to them what personality type they have, then you can invite them based on their personality type. And this isn't being manipulative, all right? This is just communicating at a level that they understand you, okay? So get with your sponsor and they'll teach you how to do that. And if you don't know how to do that, please feel free, at any point, feel free to reach out to me, and I would be glad to do some one-on-one training to help you with the inviting process, all right? Structure the invite, ask if he or she has time to talk for a few moments. This is a big thing. Whenever you get on the phone with somebody and you just go right into whatever it is, it's kind of rude, right? So what I like to do is I always like to text people first. If I need to talk to them, I'll text them and I'll say, hey, do you got a second to talk? And that's it. Just something simple. Hey, you got a second to talk? I just got a quick second myself. And then that's it. I always like to just say, hey, I don't have a lot of time myself, right? Because it creates kind of urgency. Look, I don't have a lot of time. I only got seconds, but I really had to get in touch with you to talk to you really quick about something that important to me. And then you can kind of go into the invite, right? You want to show urgency by mention that you don't have enough time. See right there. Establish their need. All right. See form below. I'll show you form tomorrow, when we get down there. You want to edify the expert, because if you're new, you're not the expert, right? And it's really easy. If you don't edify the expert, what's going to happen is they're going to start asking you tons of questions, right? If you want to be the expert, expect to be questioned. And I promise you, when you're new, you're going to get a lot of questions and you're not going to have the answers. All right. So it's really cool to edify the expert, your upline, somebody that's actually going to do the presentation, right? Use non-committal phrases to put your contacts in the driver's seat, such as take a look. This may or may not be for you, right? So you want to give them an out, all right? Because they don't need to feel pressured. This is certainly, if they feel pressured, you're doing it wrong. If they feel like you're annoying them, you're doing it wrong. If they feel like you're desperate to get them to see this, or you're desperate to have them on your team, you're doing it wrong, all right? I tell you, there are people that get started in network marketing and they don't have a clue how to invite, right? And I'm sure that you know people like that because you've been approached by them, right? They're always talking to their business. Every time you see them, they want to talk to you about the business or get you on a product or something. I understand that people are excited about the opportunity, but after a while, people are tired of hearing about it because that's all they hear about it when they're around you, and they don't want to be around you. They will push away, or you won't be able to find these people. If you're doing it right, if you're doing it like a professional, that'll never happen, all right? So key points. The ideal invite is over the phone or through social media. And it can be either text or call, okay? Whenever I first got started, texting wasn't that big a deal. They would say, always call. But nowadays, texting is just a method that most people prefer to communicate by, right? So texting is okay. Just like I just sent a text, it says, hey, listen, I got just a quick minute, but I'd love to talk to you. Do you mind if I give you a call? And then you can get onto a call. Otherwise, you could invite just via text. Hey, I'd love to sit down and talk, have some coffee with you, or buy you a drink, or sit down over lunch or something. I have something that I'm working on. I'd love to talk to you about it. If you have something like that, or again, I could go on. I have so many different invites. Just follow the blueprint here, okay? Be enthusiastic. How you say it is more important than what you say, all right? But you still want to try to say the right thing, all right? And we'll give you the tools to make sure that you say the right thing. You want to give less information to more people. You want to create curiosity for people, right? Because using form, and again, we'll get there in a minute, you're going to find out what people's needs are, their needs, wants, or don't wants, right? And if you know that information, by the way, if you want a secret to success and inviting, that is it. The secret is this: knowing what people's needs, wants, or don't wants are. All right? So if you lead with their need, they'll be more interested. Nobody cares about USANA, the founder, the products. Nobody cares about the business. What they do care about is them. They care about their situations, their problems, their own concerns will drive them to make a decision to look. So if you actually have an idea of what their need, their want, or something that they don't want, like I don't want to work overtime all the time, then you can use that, because USANA can help them with their needs, their wants, and their don't wants. Does that make sense? All right. Always edify somebody else to make them the expert, not you. Okay, at first you'll do that. Of course, later on, you will be the expert, and your downline will be edifying you, right? And when you're talking to people, you're going to have a totally different way of inviting, right? Help them identify their why. Talk about the destination, not the vehicle. The USANA is the vehicle. We don't want to talk about the vehicle. We want to talk about the destination, which is to discover their wants or their needs or their don't wants. That's the vehicle. I mean, the destination is that, right? We want to get them to the other side of that concern that they have. Help them to achieve what it is that they need, they want, they don't want. Use professional words such as an appointment rather than a meeting, right? I used to make this mistake all the time. I wanted to set up a meeting, right, or a presentation. Don't use those words, all right? Because people go to meetings all the time. They don't like them. Meetings are boring. People just don't want to hear that. Presentation, nobody wants to go to a presentation, right? So use the word appointment or something like that. Hey, appointment's a really great word. I'd like to set up let's set up an appointment that we can, for Friday, or when you call and follow up. Hey, I just want to follow up about, our appointment today at 5. Or our meet up. You can say meet up. Believe me, that works real well. Hey, let's meet up. I'm just calling to see if we're still going to meet up today, that kind of thing. But never meeting, never presentation, never seminar. All right. FORM, here it is. FORM is a great acronym. All right. Family, occupation, recreation, and money. Right. So some people say, well, I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know what to say. Well, if you use this acronym, you can really, really help you in carrying a great conversation. So you talk about their family. So, hey, if you're somebody that you've never met, and you're just maybe at a party, or you're standing in line at the grocery store, and, hey, are you from around here? Do you have kids? Are you married? It's really easy to talk to people about their family, but don't make it about you. When you're talking to somebody, when you're talking about FORM, family, occupation, recreation, money, make sure that you let them control not control the conversation so much, but are the star of the conversation, right? Because nobody really cares about anything except what's going on in their life. It's sad but true, right? But have you ever been in a situation where you're talking to somebody and they kind of just glaze over because they just have other things on their mind? It happens, right? People they love talking about things that are going on in their own life. They love talking about their own dreams and their own goals. They love talking about their job and their, or their hobbies, whatever it is. They love talking about those things. So let them be the star of the conversation. Most people talk about themselves, right? They talk about things that are going on in their own lives. So what if you were different, right? What if whenever you engage people, you talked about them and you let them talk and you ask them questions based on what they said to show that you are interested, all right? Because the key is to be interested, not interesting, okay? You being interesting is you saying, hey, does your family live around here? And they said, yeah, we live here. So you know what? My family does too. We actually moved here from Colorado. We lived in Colorado for a little while, but we moved here. I really like this area though. You know, my son is, and then you start talking about yourself. You keep talking about yourself. You allow people to open up. And you can learn a lot of things from these people. You even find out whether or not they have health issues, or they know somebody that has health issues that USANA could be a great fit for. Or maybe that they'll tell you if you're talking about recreation, you might find out that, hey, you know, they don't have the funds to go out and do fun things all the time, or they don't get to go on vacation, or when's the last vacation they went on? Man, it's been years. You know, so you can through talking through form, you kind of find out what people, what's going on in their lives, right? And we should be doing this anyway, right? Because, you know, this is how you build relationships, finding out about other people, not talking about yourself. You know, we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth. You know, I was told that we need to listen twice as much as we speak, right? So anyway, that's form. All right, next skill is present. So to present means to explain USANA, the products or the compensation plan or, you know, the business, or all together, right? There's lots of different ways that you can expose someone to a presentation. You can do a one-on-one health and freedom with the Health and Freedom newspaper. You got a few of those in your starter kit. Or there's a online presentation. YouTube, USANA Health Sciences has just an incredible YouTube channel. And that YouTube channel has tons of great videos, including video health and freedoms, that you can send to somebody, just real brief, hey, watch this video, and when you're done, tell me, I'd love to hear your opinion on what you saw. I think that this video can really help you with, and then you state what their need, want, or don't want is, right? Anyway, so lots of different ways that you can do health and freedom. We have weekly webinar. USANA has weekly health and freedoms that you can just send someone a link, and it's a webinar and they can listen to on their phone. And it actually is a PowerPoint guided webinar. So that's how cool is that, right? If you have people in different areas of the country or even around the world, USANA has webinars that people can plug into and listen to. All right, isn't that cool? Sometimes if you're in an area where there's already an established USANA group, a USANA family in that area, you may have some live events going on. You may have weekly health and freedoms in someone's house or at a hotel or just at some type of venue where you can send people to with you, or you can go with those people if it's local. And there's also usually there's Super Saturday events. They're large events that happen maybe once a week. Once a month, or maybe once a quarter. So you just got to plug into USANA and find out what events are going on in your area and get with your upline. I'm sure that they can help you find events that you can not only get to yourself, but get your guests to. And if they're not in that local area, maybe you have friends or family in other areas where they do have local events going on. That way you can leverage those activities and get your prospects to those events, right? Next, following up. So they say that the fortune is in the follow-up, right? Following up is staying in contact with somebody so that they can get all the information they need to make an informed, educated decision about USANA. Following up can be as simple as sending information they requested, sending a video, or setting up an additional appointment after you've actually met with them. Every time that you give something to someone about USANA, every time you give a presentation, or you give maybe you hand out a health and freedom paper or product catalog, or maybe you actually gave somebody a sample of maybe a product. I like doing that. I love handing out bars because the bars are so delicious. People will know right away they love them. And then following up, and you always want to follow up within 24 to 48 hours. All right, you have to do this. They say that the average person joins USANA or joins a business after the 6th, 7th, or 8th exposure, 6th, 7th, or 8th follow-up, right? But the average person follows up twice. How about that? So if they're following up twice, but the average sign-up is after the 6th approach, that's why most people don't have the success that they really, really want in their business. Right now, that doesn't mean follow up with them every day. After the first time, you kind of want to just drip on them. If they say no, they're not interested, or no, they're not ready, then you can say, hey, listen, life changes. Things show up, things happen. You just never know what's going to happen in life. Would you mind if I follow up in about a month? Just call you back, just see how things are going, if anything's changed. If you feel like a month, maybe you want to go 2 months or 3 months, do that too. But if you say 3 months, make sure that you follow up with them. Put it in your calendar that day when they say yes, and set an alert. So on that day, this 3 months from that day, you call them up and you say, hey, you know what? Last year we talked, we kind of visited this idea of USANA. I asked if I could follow up with you in 90 days, 3 months. And you said I could. So I'm doing that. Things are going amazing. I'm really, really loving how this is working. And I'm really loving how I'm feeling. And I would love to share this with you. Has anything changed that might open up the opportunity or the idea of you to take a closer look at this thing? You see, that's following up effectively. And you want to do that. The fortune is in the follow-up. Some people, when they say no, remember this. This is so important. If somebody says no, that does not mean no, right? They might think it means no, but it's not no. Right? No, it's not a no. It's not right now. That's what they really mean. Not right now. Right now is just not a good time. I have people that told me no over and over and over that are signing up with me, that have signed up with me just in the past year. And it's been years since I've presented to them. No does not mean no. It means not right now. So don't take it personal. It has nothing to do with you. It only has to do with, where they're at in life. Whenever I was first introduced to USANA, it took me 2 years to decide that USANA was for me. So just don't give up. All right. Don't give up in the business because you have people telling you no. People are going to say no. All right. Just know that just means not right now. They'll come. They'll come. I promise. As long as you keep following up the way you're supposed to, every few weeks, just drip on them a little information. Hey, just wanted to let you know that I'm thinking of you. And hey, things are going well on my end. Just want to see how you're doing. Give it any more thought to USANA. Just that kind of thing, right? And if something happens in their life, something changes, if you're following up like you should, what's the first thing they're going to think of? Who is the first person they're going to think of that can help them in their situation? If they have a health issue that comes up, who's the first person you think they're going to come to or that's going to come to their mind whenever they're thinking of what do I need to do about this health situation? Oh yeah, John has this business. It's a nutritional company. Maybe he has something that can help me with that, right? All right. So key points are following up is your responsibility. At the end of your presentations, establish a follow-up time for your next conversation. Follow up within 24 to 48 hours. After that, they start getting cold, right? You got to strike while the iron's hot, 24 to 48 hours. An effective follow-up requires consistent and organized tracking. All right. Make sure that you're putting down everything, every little. If you followed up on the 10th, make sure you put, I followed up on the 10th. This is what happened. This is what was said. And then schedule your next follow-up appointment, right? Following up normally requires 5 to 7 contacts or light touches before someone makes a decision, all right? All right. This is really cool. A little tip. Immediately after you get home from doing a presentation, send everyone you met a thank you for your time in an email, including everything you said you would follow up on. You'll look professional and show that you're genuinely interested in helping meet their health and financial goals. This is customer service, guys. This is a connecting business. So that's how, that's one way that you're going to connect with people, showing them that you really care, right? And number 5, we're looking at close. To close someone is really to open someone to a new lifestyle, whether it's health or financial. You're really helping them come to a decision. And you're going to ask the following questions, like, what did you like best about what you saw? Or are you ready to begin your training so you can, and then help meet their needs, whatever their need, want, or don't want. Or you can say, so, hey, out of what you saw, 1 meaning you just want to try the products for now, 10 meaning you want to sign up today. What exactly, what number would you say that you are? It just kind of helps you to kind of guess or approximate what their interest level is. So you never want to just say after a presentation, so what do you think? You never want to say that, all right? You want to start with a positive, hey, what did you like best about what you just saw or heard, right? So remember, you're the expert, so lead them to a decision. You want to enroll them with a business starter pack, enroll them as a preferred customer, or encourage them to get on some products just to try, and then set up an additional follow-up meeting, right? That's the close. Number 6, we're almost done with these 7 skills, right? Overcoming objections. This is, some people are told no one time, and it derails them, and it hits them so hard that they give up on their dreams and goals at success in this business that can lead them to an incredible life. All right. Just know that people are going to have questions. People are going to have objections because they might not understand. Right. So, and there's not 100 different questions or objections that you might be exposed to, right? There are just about 7 or 8 objections that come out they're the only ones that continue to you'll be continued to be exposed to, like no time, no money, not a salesperson. Is this a pyramid scheme? I don't know anyone. I can't do that. I don't need supplements. These are the top questions and objections that you're going to get. All right. If you can master how to answer these questions, how many is this? 1 of 7? If you can master these 7 objections, your business is done. You'll have it, right? But even just know this, even if you master these 7 objections, that doesn't mean that they're going to sign up, but it does increase the likelihood that they will sign up with you with a product or a business within time. All right. So learn these objections. All right. You want to expect these objections. Okay. Expect them. If you expect them, then you won't be upset or disappointed whenever you get them. Right. Expect objections. Don't get offensive. Don't get defensive. Acknowledge the concern of the objection. Don't get upset. All right. People have questions. You might have had some of these same objections. So if somebody says something, you just say something like, "Hey, listen, I totally understand. That's a great question," or I completely understand your concern. Okay. I had some very similar concerns, or you may have had that same concern. I also felt that same way. But whenever I really took a closer look, I kind of just kept an open mind and really looked at this thing. What I found is, and then you can kind of explain what it is that can help them with that objection. So you acknowledge their concern. You ask questions to better understand the person. If somebody says, I really don't have any money to get started, I would like to first say, hey, I understand. All right. Money's tight for a lot of people right now. But then you want to also try to isolate that objection. You want to say something like, so is money really the only reason that's keeping you from getting started? Right. Or if it's time, hey, listen, I just don't have a lot of time. Okay. I'm busy all the time. I just don't have time to do this. It's cool, but I don't think I'd be able to find the time. You say, hey, listen, I understand. I totally get it. I feel like I'm stretched to the limit all the time too. And then you can say, but let me ask you, is time the only concern that you have? Is that the only thing that's keeping you from getting started just because you feel like you just won't have the time to do this? And then see, you're isolating that objection. Because if you isolate it and they say, yeah, that's it, then you know that if you can handle that objection and help them to discover that they do have time. We all have 24 hours a day. We sleep 8 hours. We work 8 hours. What about the other 8 hours? Can you take out of that extra time, can you take 2 hours a day? Maybe instead of sitting in front of the television for 4 hours, 5 hours, which is the average 4 or 5 hours a day, instead take 2 hours out of that time where you can focus on reaching some dreams that you might have given up on, or some goals that you may have given up on. So, I mean, you just find different ways to just meet people where they're at. Don't get defensive. Meet them where they're at and help them to see that they might be able to do this despite their objection. If you just got to help people. You don't sit across the table from these people, right? You sit beside them and you want to help them. This is a gift that you're offering people, and it's almost obligatory not to share this with everybody. If it's not sharing this, what a shame. And it's not your decision, right? It's their decision, right? So it's just your job to help them to see what this gift can do for them. Help them to overcome these objections, because everybody has goals. Nobody wants to live paycheck to paycheck. Nobody wants to be unhealthy, live an unhealthy lifestyle. Some people have just given up, right? Some people have given up on their health. They've given up on their finances. They don't see a way out. USANA is such a gift. To not share it is wrong, right? So help people to see how this can help them. Some people are like, I don't have any money. Hey, I get it. I totally get it. How long do you want to live like that? USANA can help you. It's okay. We can figure this thing out. If we took the money problem out, would that be, or do you have any other concerns? See, and then you can help them with the money. And there's ways. Trust me, your sponsor, your upline can help you to strategize with these people. If money is an issue, if time's an issue, have your if you can have your upline there, or if your upline lives in a different state, have them on a phone. Have them on the phone call, or kind of have them FaceTime, because they will help you answer those objections or those questions. All right. Also, if you go to the Ask a Leader videos in the training section of the Hub or on the YouTube channel, man, there's some great responses. The leaders that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, if not millions of dollars a year, they can help you and give you what they say to those common objections. All right. So the last, and probably one of the top most important skills out of the 7, is promoting events. Events are where you build your belief in the company. You can network with other leaders, right? You get to see just the behind the scenes that people don't get to see, man. At like international convention, you get to see the actual, home office. You get to see where they make the USANA products. You get to meet the scientific team. You get to meet leaders from all over the world. You get to really build your skills, and you get this sense of social validation. It's hard. I don't think anybody can give you the feeling that I get or they get whenever I first went to international convention. It blew me away. It really made me feel like I'm not doing this by myself. This is a real thing. And I saw just thousands and thousands and thousands of people. We're all in this same area, and we're all motivated. We're all excited. The energy is amazing. It really changed the game. And it'll change the game for you. It'll change the game for your associates. And that's how events work. All right? So you have to go to events if you want to build a business. I've never met a diamond director who does not go to events. They have to, because they know that is going to build belief. It's going to build momentum. It's going to help build their team and build their team's belief and momentum for themselves. Promoting events is such a great skill. And if you don't go to these events, how are you going to expect your team to go to these events? You got to go. If you go, they'll go. If you don't go, they're not going to go. And you got to set up that expectation. As you bring people into your business, you got to say, hey, there's some events that you're going to have to go to. You're going to have to commit to, right? Because if you owned a Starbucks, or if you owned what if you owned an Apple store? If there was an event, if there was an Apple event, which I'm sure there is every year, you would be required to go to that, right? And you'd want to go to that because you know that it'll help you to build your business, right? So register for any upcoming event that's going on. Register your new team members right after they sign up. And pre-register for all conference calls, register early for all local events, okay? Get to these events because it is going to be a game changer for your business. They've actually done studies on people who have gone to international convention and people's business, the businesses of people who did not go to international convention. And the people who went to an international convention, their businesses grew 30 to 40% faster and more than those who did not go to the international convention. So I'm telling you, events are very important. All right, let's go to time management. For most people, USANA is a part-time business. That usually means 2 to 10 hours weekly. All right, it's very possible for someone to grow and develop a USANA business in this way, but it takes commitment. It is also important to understand the difference between revenue-generating activities and non-revenue-generating activities. And I talked about this in the part 1 video, right? There's things that you can do that are pretty important. Setting up your business, sending emails, designing your office, planning conference calls, attending events, team building. Those are all great things, but they're not going to generate money, right? Those aren't revenue generating. All right, you need to be spending 10 to 20% of the time doing non-revenue generating activities. 80 to 90% of the time, revenue. All right, meeting and building relationships, connecting with new people through phone calls, email, social media, just being out and about, making phone calls, setting up presentation, giving presentations, doing 3-way phone calls, getting referrals from people, bringing guests to USANA events. Those are revenue generating activities. Those are what you want to spend most of the time on. Right? Power hour. It's amazing what you can accomplish in 1 hour. If you just sit down, separate yourself from everybody, and just get to work for 1 hour, focus on what's important. Here are a few things you can do to gear yourself toward a powerful invite, follow-up, close, or whatever you're doing to build your business. You want to dedicate a block of time just for your USANA business. Don't allow any interruptions, no distractions. Find a dedicated workspace that will keep you away from everybody. And then you ask all your family and friends, hey, listen, I'm going into my business hours. All right, so just give me some space for an hour. Right? And after we're done, we'll go do something. But right now, I got to do this. Make sure that you organize before you begin your power hour, right? Get your energy up. If you have to, walk around. Like right now, I'm standing. I'm walking around because I get fired up. All right? My energy is good when I'm up. Don't worry about your next check, okay? Don't worry about the volume that you need to hit your next rank, all right? None of that matters, right? This business is about helping others reach their goals, okay? Most people, the way the world is set up is you have to give in order to receive, right? But most people focus on the receiving part first, and they walk around empty, all right? I have a mentor that I listen to all the time. And his name is Zig Ziglar. He says that if you can help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want. But the first part of that is if you help enough people get what they want. This whole thing, that's how it's set up, right? So when you're talking to people, remember, it's not about you. It's not about your next rank. It's not about the volume you need. It's about them. It's about helping others to achieve whatever it is that they're longing for, their goals, their financial goals, their health goals, whatever it is, all right? Remember to smile, even through the phone. I'm going to talk right now. I'm not smiling, right? But if I talk like I'm smiling right now, can you hear it? Can you feel it? Can you feel the energy of smiling? It makes a difference. People can feel a smile through the phone, all right? Display your goals and dream board. Don't stop until you've exhausted your list or you've run out of your hour, all right? Usually the first call is the hardest, all right? Just know this, because it's hard to pick up that phone. It is so difficult because you're nervous, especially when you're brand new. You just don't know what you're going to say. You don't know what they're going to say, but just whenever you reach out to people, speak from the heart, right? Hey, listen, I'm just calling. Do you have a couple seconds? I only got a second. But I want to share something with you. I'm just I'm really fired up right now. I'm just tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm so sick. I got my check the other day, and I'm like, man, there's got to be something else out there. There's got to be something else out there. But guess what? I found something. I think that's really, really, it's going to take me to the next level. I just see what this can bring for me and my family, I want you to take a look at it. I really respect you. I would really love you to take a look at it, and you can give me your input and tell me what you think. Would you do that for me? It would be a huge help. You just take a look at this and tell me what you think. Or if I send you a link, would you take a look at it and get back to me and tell me what you think about? I really, really value your opinion, and just speak from the heart, right? That's when it gets fun, man. I'm telling you, you'll feel great. Your business will start to grow, and you'll be one step closer to your goals, all right? So just overcome that first call. It's the hardest. Second call, still tough, but by that third call, man, you'll be going, all right? Trust me. If you can, do your first call with your sponsor beside you. That will be so helpful. Because sometimes if you start really getting kind of jumbled up during the call, you might be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm actually with my business partner, and he might be able to answer some questions you might have. That kind of thing, right? But just trust me. The first time you do anything is tough. It gets easier and easier and easier, all right? So next, personal development. I mentioned this earlier in the part 1 video that personal development is so important in the success of your business, but not just the success of your business, but the success of your life. As you find out more about yourself, about life, about certain skills, and about how successful people think, and how, what people do who are already super successful, how they live, how do they teach their kids, what do they do every day as far as their fitness goes, or their relationships. You learn personal development. It can change your life, not just your business, but your life. All right, but building a USANA business doesn't take years or college or thousands of dollars in tuition. What it does take is consistent time and effort. Your results with USANA will directly mirror your ability to work within the 4 basic pillars of success: products, company, industry, and yourself. You need to get familiar with all 4 of these things, right? And you need to have a 10 out of 10 belief in all of them. If you don't have a 10 out of 10 belief in the products or the company or the industry of network marketing or even yourself, people are going to see it and feel it when you're talking to them, when you're doing a presentation, when you're inviting. If you have only like a 6 out of 10 belief in the industry of network marketing, whenever you mention how awesome network marketing is, if you don't really, really believe that yourself, they're gonna know, right? They're gonna sense that. Okay, you've got to find out about each of these. You got to find out about the products. If you're not a 10 out of 10, then tell your sponsor, and they will give you some information that's going to help boost your confidence in the products. If you have maybe you don't know about the company, you're like, there's a lot of companies out there. What makes ours the best? You have to have a 10 out of 10 belief, right? Well, we can provide you third-party information that will really boost your confidence in the company and let you know and show you that we are the best, right? Just anything, the industry, yourself. Surround yourself with like-minded, like-hearted people. Listen in on weekly team calls. Listen in on all home office calls. They have those every week. When you're down, call your upline. And when you're up, call your downline, because they need motivating too, right? Sometimes they get discouraged. Encourage them, right? And I always find that when I'm most discouraged in anything, when I call other people and encourage them, it lifts me up, right? And it all goes back to helping other people, right? Finally, start building your own professional development library. Here are some things, some resources that are so very important, and we want all our new associates, and you will want all your new associates to go through these specific books. Some are books, some are audios, right? Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki, the #1 book on personal finance of all time. This is an incredible book. Business of the 21st Century. Invisible Miracles by Dr. Wentz. Building Your Network Marketing Business is an audio. You can actually find that on YouTube. Building Your Network Marketing Business. Listen through that. All right, it's about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Listen to that. It is great. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Books by John C. Maxwell. In the First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell, and then GoPro by Eric Worre. These 7 items are a must in this business. You've got to go through these, all right? And by the way, I made a little mistake. So Robert Kiyosaki wrote The Business of the 21st Century, but he also wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the number one book in personal finance of all time. But Business of the 21st Century is a great second choice. All right. So you want to read both of those. These are all great. And I'm telling you, if you'll read them, your downline will read them. All right. You got to set the example. You're the leader now. You got to lead the team by doing what it takes to be an effective leader. All right. So here's some spots for your contact list. Here's your volume growth chart. Your upline will teach you how to do that, right? Right now, obviously, with it being brand new, you're not going to have a previous growth, right? But what you'll do is you'll track your CVP. So every Friday when you get paid, you'll write that CVP, commission volume points. In the United States, your commission volume points equals your check amount, right? So CVP equals US dollars. So you put your check amount in every space, right? And so after when you're finished with this year, next year, you'll print out the growth tracker and you'll write all these down in the previous year, CVP, and then you'll write this next year. Each week, you'll write your check, and you'll see what your growth is from the previous year, right? Track your commission volume points each week by entering the date CVP you earned. Do the same the following year, and then you compare to see how much your volume has grown, right? And that's just about it, guys. We have hit the end of our Getting Started manual found in the starter kit. And I am so glad. And I've mentioned this before. We're so happy and so honored to have you a part of Team Revolution. And we're so excited to help you to grow in your business and to have just big, big success. You can do this. And no matter what, if you feel, like I said before, if you feel up, call your downline, right? But if you feel down, call your upline, because we want to help you. There's no reason for you to give up on your dreams. You may have had some setbacks, but I believe setbacks are really set-ups for success. So you can do this. We're going to help you. So let's do it together. Let's get started. All right? Get with your sponsor. Let them know, hey, I just finished the Getting Started videos, and I am ready to knock this thing out. All right? You guys take care, and I look forward to hearing from you.